Well, hi there, and yeah, it's time for another speed run, and I'm going to tell you how to become a better chess player, hopefully, and we're also going to win a nice game. So the idea of these videos, as you should know by now, because it's number 61, is to play a longer time limit, and we're slowly gone from the lowest rating we can get on chess.com, and we're trying to get up to 2500, so we're about 180 points away. Okay, so now we are facing irregular opening b5, and what we should do against irregular opening is not freak out, play good sensible moves, control the center, develop pieces, get the king safe. If an opportunity arises, take it. So I'm going to put another pawn in the center of the board, just playing a logical move, and I'm aiming at that pawn. And after my opponent goes here, I now have two options, right? I can play what I think is the theoretical approved move, taking that pawn, but my opponent's probably ready for that, and I'm not going to do that. Or I could do something else where I just try to keep this pawn here, and I like these two pawns, so I'm going to defend this pawn, and I'm going to do that just by developing a piece, which can't be a bad move. And my opponent now keeps trying to strike out against my pawns, and I'm going to continue by trying to keep my pawns defended. My logic is if I keep these two pawns pretty well defended, then I'm going to have a good position, and my opponent keeps striking out. And now I can either defend it with a queen move, for example, a pawn move, or I could even potentially play this, but then my opponent might have a chance to break out. So I'm going to play this pawn move here so that now my pawn can move and g2 is not on pre. Let's take the one back automatically. My opponent might well now try some stuff like this, but my figuring is if I keep these two pawns like this, I'm okay. So I'm going to move a piece, defend a pawn. And if my opponent goes here, can I actually take that one? My opponent strikes out again. And I guess the idea here is to get all the dart squares, but I'm going to keep my center. And now the bishop is not so important. My pawns are all on light squares, so the light square bishop is not a great piece in actual fact. And I've got to get castled before my opponent can take control of that diagonal. I have to say, actually, I think my opponent's played very interesting moves here so far, and he obviously knows the opening well, and the way that he's played this is quite intriguing. Something I might try as black, you know, trying to get a bishop in, etc., etc. But we've got nothing to worry about. We've got these pawns blocking out his bishop, so we can't be doing badly. Now, do I exchange or do I move the king? Now, I'm actually going to move the king because even though his bishop looks very strong, I like the potential idea of bringing my bishop to this square. And let's develop my last two pieces. So I'm going to get my knight and my bishop out. Again, I haven't done anything special at all. I haven't really calculated so far. If this pawn moves, I move the knight here. My opponent, for some reason, is offering me a draw, which is a little bit sad. Maybe you can go bishop a6 here. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know why he's offering me a draw. He's gone queen a6. Bishop a6 seemed quite interesting. The idea of going pawn there, but he's trying to go, and he's offering me. Why is he keeps offering me draws? It's very very peculiar, and annoying, more to the point. And now, what happens if we take that one? I don't know. Well, knight takes is also possible, no? Let's just take the pawn. We've got to call our opponent's bluffs. And yeah, it's annoying when your opponent keeps offering you draws, right? And I've always got a4 here, but I want that rook defended in some cases. But do I play a4 now, or do we keep developing? And I think I'm going to go a4, so my knight is always, you know, not in trouble. This was the only thing. The only thing I was worried about is something like rook b8, bishop takes pawn, rook takes here. But that's not really an issue. And now we'll see what he does. If he kicks my knight back, fair enough, I've won a pawn. If he pins my knight, fair enough, I'm going to support my knight with as many pieces as I can. And one thing I've got to now do a little bit better is move quicker, because that's one of the only ways I should lose this position. That pawn seems reasonably safe, so we've got to now move with a bit more intent. How do we play this? Do we put a rook on b1, try to go b4? I don't know if that helps. Are we going f4 here? Takes g5. Here takes here. I don't know. Not sure I like that. So how are we playing this position? f4 is kind of the move I really want to do, because I want to do something. But I'm not sure it really gets to the mark. So it's actually, this position is not, even though I am taking my time, it's not that clear, I have to say. Do we go rook here? Okay, I'm going to go rook c1, because something might happen here, and I'm just going to have to play quicker now. b3, rook c2. Okay, he's trying to come into this square. Let's just offer the exchange of my bishop there. Maybe I could have done that last move. I have to say, I mean, probably the reasoning my opponents offer me draws is they know it will annoy me, and I've fallen into, and it has. It's a great way to put me off, actually, because now this is a big threat and my pawn, so I might still be okay, but his bishops are looking good. Yeah, offering draws, I hate it. And of course, can't take here because this bishop is so strong. I should not have allowed the exchange of bishops. So now, can we defend this position even? I don't know. Maybe we have to go here and move the king to g2 to try and defend. My opponent playing very well so far, so I have to do this because I have to get something on the h-file, and this might give me some chance of an attack on the h-file. I'm hoping if I can get a rook here, double up. My opponent trying to play a6 as well, so let's move this knight so my knight can come back to c3, and my knight potentially gives me a bit of extra protection here. And now we will continue with the plan of just trying to come in on the h-file if we can. But he's always got f6 and moved the king. He's also now opening up the c-file at the same time, so his position looks perfectly okay here. And like I say, he's played this very well, timing things nicely, I have to say. This comes back, his bishop comes here. Okay, so I'm gonna, then I go, yeah, so I don't know, this is a little bit annoying, this position for me. Do we swap off? Okay, let's swap off. And now this one and this pawn is in some trouble, and on the h-file nothing really happening, so it's a tricky position, this tricky position. How do we play this, guys? How do we play this? I don't know. I'm struggling to find the right plan here, because a6 and the rook coming in. So how do we do? Do I have to defend this? But then this pawn drops, so I don't know. Maybe I have to come here, but this looks like a really ugly move. And I've been under a bit of pressure in this game, I have to say, all the way. You know, it hasn't been an easy game, this one. Okay, so he plays a move quickly. He's got the bishop maybe coming here, so I'm going to get my knight out of the way. Maybe I should have taken that one. Maybe I should go here anyway, because we've got the c6 square, but the bishop coming here was something that scared me. I have to move my queen away if that happens, so I have to come somewhere like this, because I don't want his other bishop coming in with tempo. You can see why I moved the rook here. I moved the rook here to defend this. He wants to come now into this square, which very dangerous, but I got king back to g1. But something like check, king here, bishop d8 would be a remarkable move, and maybe a good move. I'm sort of holding on to this attack, but he might even have bishop h4 here. Does that work? God. Knight takes here, bishop, and he has another remarkable move. And this guy is either cheating or playing really well. It's as simple as that. You know, you don't find moves like this I found it because I'm a bloody Grandmaster and offer draws and played as well, unless there's something very strange going on. And this is such a strong threat to deal with. Take here, bishop takes here. And this, I don't see how I can defend. The queen comes here, the bishop comes here. So, I don't know, it's very suspicious, this game. Very suspicious. The guy's either a bloody genius or just a cheat. And either way, he's beating me. So we'll play it on. We'll play it on. Why not? We'll go here. And he can now take here. Queen G2, and he has a number of moves. But I don't see any other way to defend what's happening here. I wonder if he'll throw in a couple of dodgy moves. Maybe I'm just becoming more like Kramnik as I get older. It's very, very possible. But as we know in the speedrun, we come across a cheat every now and again. I generally am a great cheat reporter because I report them and they get banned. So I do my job, and my opponent is now disconnected. Maybe he realizes that if he wins this game, he's going to get reported and banned. So it's better for him to disconnect and lose. You never know. This is very possibly what he's doing. He's making sure he can lose. But what can we learn from this game? Well, we have to look at where we went wrong in this game, because things were looking all right, but I think giving up the dark square bishop was a big mistake, and I'm going to have to report this guy. Let's have a look at the game review. What do you reckon it's going to be, his accuracy? Because there was just something very strange about the way he played there. Oh, we don't even get it because I've got the bloody free account in chess.com. I don't know if that means you're banned. It means show your flair. Probably means you're banned. Did he get banned during the game? And it'd be very interesting. Maybe someone else can do it to see what his accuracy was during the course of that game, because my inkling is that there was something very suspicious going on there, and he was most likely cheating. But okay, we have to see where we went wrong, because we can still learn, and the opening all seemed all right. I mean, just when you combine the draw offers and everything, it was totally suspicious. And this all seemed pretty good for me. It looked like I played well. I'm happy. Don't know, maybe in hindsight, I think my mistake was actually thinking my bishop's better than his bishop. You remember at the time I was saying, oh, I think my bishop would be a good hit. It was crap there. It was doing nothing. And his diagonal was a major problem. So I think in hindsight, I should certainly swap off bishops. And actually, it's very logical, because all I have to do is swap off as many pieces as I can, but leave him with that bad bishop there. So bishop e3, clearly a much stronger move than what I played. This move I don't like, but it's still okay. It's still okay. And now he plays this queen a6. This is before he offered a draw. And I don't know, it just feels like he's playing the odd bad move to try to throw me off. And taking the knight's fine. A4's fine. And this position is still fine. But I should probably take this knight immediately. And he's got compensation. So a very strange game. You know, I don't really know how to explain that game. But it happens now and again. And I'm sorry that it was so peculiar. We'll get another speedrun out where hopefully things are a little bit more sensible. Do throw a like and subscribe anyway, even if I tweet my eyebrows like that to try and encourage you. Cheers.